without a doubt, one of the best animes I have ever seen. First rank, Hall of Fame worthy anime. There is so many anime that exists out there. Very few of them do I really care for in terms of actually touching the soul of what I strive to see in anime at times. And in the ecchi variety, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. We hardly ever get wildin' things like what has happened this episode. Because by far, usually protagonists with a lot of women around, they never get any cheeks. They just do it for the safety of the women and things like that. That's why, you know what, JSX4 exists. My damn series exists. Because I got so tired of all these fine anime women coming through and the main character doesn't do anything with them. That's why, at least a good chunk of the reason to a point, why I decided to make that series when it comes down to it. Because if they are not going to do it, I'll do it myself. But in this case of Nukitashi, they said we're going to go and step it up. It's not going to be the main character that wants the cheeks. No, the girl is going to force that. Basically, we all just saw some McDonald's rapé in real time. I have never seen an anime actually pull this sort of thing. Like, yes, there is clapping cheeks in anime. That's been a thing since the dawn of time. That's nothing new. But the way they went about it, the way they did something with that, that is what got my attention. Because again, cheek clapping, if you want to see cheek clapping, you can watch Harem and the Labyrinth of Another World. You could watch, like Interspecies Reviewer. You can watch a lot of those shows that exist out there with legit cheek clapping in the actual show. But I have never seen an actual scenario where they full on go ahead and do it. Where the lady, Ikuko, and I'm never forgetting that damn name, Ikuko, she literally was like, yeah, you're not necessarily escaping this, buddy. You think you one of them old, boring ass protagonists that just don't get no cheeks whatsoever? Nah, this time, I'm breaking that taboo. She literally hypnotized this man's whole meat and then legitimately went in. When I told you I couldn't believe that happened, I couldn't believe that happened. Again, not many shows go that far to that extent and actually just let that sort of thing happen. I was fully expecting, oh, maybe somebody's gonna run her over, maybe somebody's gonna, maybe Fumio gonna snipe her or some shit like that. I fully believe that was gonna happen, and then the anime said no. What if we just let it? What if we just go for it? We already got like a lot of crazy stuff in the show already. What if we just go for it, right? And then they did. And it was wild. She was just going in, right? Just non-stop. Made me mad as hell because that wasn't me.
It should have been me, not him. It's not fair. This is bullshit. So much goddamn injustice around here.
I was getting hot and heated and bothered all at the same time. It was insanity. It was wild. This, I ain't gonna lie, the whole episode until that point was really boring for me. Because at high key, I was like, I feel like with a place like Ludeland, something amazing should happen. And then nothing really amazing happened. What? Besides, certain people clapping the mascot character, which I thought was a dude, I guess not. But when it comes down to it though, that's really about it. There wasn't really much to kind of really care too much for, right? Except maybe pushing a little bit of Nanase, kind of showing more her side when it comes down to stuff, but very slightly, I guess. But again, not really anything to write home about. Outside the fact that they couldn't really take out the dude that made the perverted law, which, granted, was it ever going to be that easy? Of course not. But still, it was mind-boggling that that whole scene ended up happening. And what's even crazier is this man Jun was like, "This is it. This is GG's for me. I lost my virginity to a crazy chick," which. You don't understand how good you got it, sir. You don't understand how good and amazing that you just had it for that good little minute. You don't really understand that, right? But I digress. This man said, you know what? You took my whole ass virginity? Now, I'm about to show you exactly what you got yourself into. So he said, you know what? F it. I'm gonna start giving her absolute back shots, and she's just enjoying it for a minute until his whole ass meat just kept going and going and going to the big leagues. It went so damn far to the big leagues that she literally popped off this man's whole top. That's how it was. She went flying so damn hard that she got ran over by a truck. I don't get it. I don't understand. She got how you survived that. I got no clue. But that shit was, this whole sequence was the hottest yet the most funniest shit I think I've ever really seen executed, done in an anime. I'm not joking when I say that. I fully believe that, right? And you know what's good about this sort of thing that happened is that the fact that the main character, after literally losing his virginity by force, Nanase came through and was like, are you alright? And you know what? He was depressed about it, but he was like, you know what? I'm good. I still got my pride. We can still make this happen, you know, and still go on with the plan. That is what I've always wanted to see. Maybe not necessarily in this sort of direct term of the girl initiating first, but this is what I've always wanted to see in an anime. A whole main character, you know, getting some cheeks, and then ultimately not necessarily, you know, feeling so like, oh, this can't happen. There has to be some plot convenience cock block to you know, not necessarily have it happen. And yet they let it happen. And yet it happened. It was amazing. It was actually fantastically done, right? He actually bounced back and was like, yo, nothing, that's not a GG's for me. That we can still keep going with the anime. It feels like they just broke a whole ass taboo, and now it just feels like high key no harem anime character ever has an excuse as to why they can't clap anyone's cheeks. Because if this can happen, this just broke up, for me personally, this broke a new standard when it comes to ecchi borderline H anime when it comes down to it, right? At this damn point, if you're gonna go ham, go in and go ham. That is all I can really tell you when it comes down to it. Yes, the whole plot of, you know, stopping the pervert law is still going to be there, and that's perfectly fine, but this rises expectations up for what I feel like this anime can absolutely do. Now, my brain is going higher places when it comes to ecchi once again. Once again, it just goes to show you, they can very much go in when they want to and push boundaries of what anime actually can show and do. This was absolute freaking peak. It just was. But once again, I do have to reiterate, and I really hope later down the line, once the anime is done, they'll release a fully NSFW version of the show and completely show like everything uncensored. Don't have the stupid duck mascot come through and censor stuff. Like, do not have that whatsoever. Let the good things happen. Let it happen. Let the amazement come through, because at the end of the day, that is what I would like to see. Or at least release like a H version of the damn show where you see everything and it goes on for a long period of time. That's perfectly fine. If it doesn't happen, and I promise you, if it doesn't happen, that is the biggest misplay I have ever seen an anime ever do, and it is by far the most stupidest decision you could ever do. You'd be like, well, it was enough in the show. Sure, but I would like to see it fully in detail however you can do it, right? Because there is no way you have these hot ass characters go through all this stuff and essentially you don't display it in hardcore detail in the ways that you should, right? I don't care what you have to do. I don't care how it is. Just make that happen. Because again, not showing all the details, saying this uncensored, and it is uncensored, but not fully uncensored. You gave us a somewhat uncensored experience. No, I need to see the whole damn thing, right? It is what it is. So again, if they don't necessarily do it, And if they basically just say, well, this is all we're gonna do, it is what it is, budget ran out, and all that sort of stuff, that is ridiculous. There is no way an anime just like this gets no H, like actual uncensored scenes to the fullest it can be, and then we just walk away like this didn't happen, right? Because that's absolutely ridiculous. And it makes me go back and think about Interspecies Reviewer as well. How that show basically went ahead and did all the clapping possible, but then never release any Ultra H version of the show. Maybe that wasn't the intention, but at the end of the day, you don't go this hard and you stop halfway. That is how it is for me when it comes down to what I want to see in the future of this show, and hopefully they'll actually make that happen. Because again, that would be ridiculous not to do it. But that's just how it is for me though, on this whole episode. This episode was peak. I knew I was gonna like Ikuko the moment, you know, she popped up on screen. They said, you know, she's basically the crazy chick. I already knew. This is why, Kohais, I said this for years. This is why I like the crazy women. Because you don't know what you're gonna get. Some of them are murderers. Some of them are absolutely wild and out there. But then you get good ones like Ikuko, and immediately you get the best thing of your life. It's like what Dashi used to say with Mario Maker. Bleep, give this to a Japanese stripper. This bitch gonna change your life. Because that's exactly what this happened to me. This girl really changed my perspective of how ecchi can be done. But that being said, that's the end of this video, high key, and I'm probably going to just go ahead and just be staring at this scene again for like 3 more times, because God, how the hell did this happen? I don't know, but it was amazing. So hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification on your way out. Also follow me on socials, and if you'd like to donate to the channel, Kofi and Cash App is available as well. And until then, it's your boy Jay, signing off. Have a blessed day.